If you like our videos, please like and subscribe, because then he can eat even more this month. Isn't that right, Jamie?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your usual gentleman, entertainer man, the White Wolf, at the helm today. Once again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good shit if you enjoy. If you've been here before, you're my pack. I love you guys. I appreciate the support, all that good shit. Now, today, we've been needing the moisture because we're diving into something quite expansive now. Quite expansive indeed. We are stepping foot into the world of Warhammer 40k. It's been something that I have eyed up and considered and toyed with the notion of for a grand long time. However, you know, it's quite an expensive hobby and all that good shit, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to access for most. So, now that I'm in the position that I'm in, a buddy of mine, one that I mention quite frequently, Chaos, he reached out to me, and he expressed interest of starting to play Warhammer together in our spare time. Now, in video side of things, what does that mean for us? Now, I'm going to be recording a lot of my painting of my army. I'm going to be compiling a lot of my strategies and stratagems and all these ideas that I have and all that good stuff on the channel. Maybe eventually stream a game if we come to that or something like that. Who knows? But more importantly, before anything else, I'm going to have to buy the books and the rule books and all that. But even before all that, I want to determine what army I play. Which faction do I align myself with? And which... basically which money pit am I sinking myself into for the foreseeable future here? Because chances are I'm not going to dump everything on a 2,000 point army right off the bat, because that would be like probably it'd be a sizable portion of money that I could not easily afford right now at once. So I will have to spread it out a bit before I could, do that. But that gives me time to paint the minis, so that I could work with that. That's good for me. But I'm rambling. The main point of this is that I stumbled upon Dice Check, and more specifically, I stumbled upon this man, Bricky, and his series of the Warhammer 40k factions explained and simplified for the simpletons and the newcomers like myself. So, with that in mind, we're in for a long haul here, because it is 2 fucking parts. One is 51 minutes, the other is 58 minutes. So we're in for a treat. We are in for a treat indeed. So, what is going to be done here is I'm going to split it into 2 parts. I'm going to do part 1 of his video in this thing. I don't know why it's starting me halfway into the video here. That's weird. But I'm going to watch this one. So we will do a part 1. And then I shall do the second one and do a part 2. And then we shall compile the thoughts at the end of part 2. And decide which faction we play. seems like a pretty good idea in my mind. And what I shall do is I will have, let's see if I can bring it up here. It might help if I... No, why is this turning on? You gotta love when random shit just starts popping off on your computer, eh? So fun, so fun. There we go, okay. I have a little tier list here of most of the army codexes. So what I am planning to do is I am going to be, as I'm fed this information, be coming to this tier list and ranking the factions in terms of my interest. Do they seem fun? Do they seem like something I should play for long term and enjoy? And is it something that I should avoid at all costs, or something that I should sit on as an idea in the back of my mind and come back to as an army for later, kind of thing, you know? It's just kind of something to visualize my thoughts a bit. So, without further ado, I'll shut up and let the man speak.
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve the Omnissiah, but someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I will be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about, to add a little bit more context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am currently doing.
I like it.
Hello,
Perfect.
everybody. My name
I love it.
is
Sounds
Bricky.
good.
This is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is...
I've been in it for the long haul, man. Let's hear it all. Let's go.
Every single Warhammer 40k race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop.
Good, so everything
lore,
I need.
What they're all about.
Everything
and
I
also
want
a
in a
little bit of
nutshell
background for
here.
those of you
Perfect.
who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a
Okay,
universe
you know what? Let's
people
get the
hear
overview too.
plenty
Let's
of,
get the
but don't know a
full
whole
shebang
lot
here.
about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some thugs
the
over there, and
orcs,
everyone calls these guys
the
weebs,
Space
and
Marines.
there's these spiky
Love-
bitches over
oh,
here,
man,
and I don't get
fucking
it.
love
I don't
the lore
understand.
here.
Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of
Heretical
knowledge, and
viewer,
curious about each
yes.
of the different races and factions in
Good.
Warhammer.
You know what's funny,
So
actually?
overall, the Warhammer universe is vast.
I'm actually gonna take a quick pause here. And yeah, it is huge. It's a huge universe. That's kind of what daunted me from getting into Warhammer in the first place. But I've been on such a Warhammer kick recently. I've been so into it that I bought nearly every single one of the Magic the Gathering fucking Warhammer 40k commander decks, because I love the series. I love the lore. I love the game so much, and I just never got a chance to play it. And now I'm starting to be able to get a chance to play it, and my excitement's starting to build and everything. So it's like, But I pretty much bought every one of those decks just because I was so hype about the game as a thing itself, and just having that in Magic too. It's like, hey, I get to play all these iconic figures from Warhammer in Magic. Kind of works out. So, anyways, slight side tangent. Actually, I am parched as fucked already. I'm getting some water first. Hold on. I also got chocolate.
Comes to lore
Continue.
and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on
fuck?
them. You've got aliens, and you've got the
Damn, the
faction.
Necrons!
There's so much to entail that I decided to embark on this project to
fucking
tell
love the
you
Necrons.
what each and
They're
every
so- they
single
look
one
so
of them
fucking cool.
is about, and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So, I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40k universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some small factions here and there.
That helps me.
I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it, because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions, and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well, in case you were curious about that.
Oh, the Necron army. Hold on. So, quick again, side note. First one of those decks that I did buy was the Necrons. Love. Absolutely love the robot, Terminator, zombie, fucking Egyptian aesthetic that they got going on. It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. Hold on. Like, look at that. That's so cool on the fucking tabletop. That's so fucking cool. Oh, look. Is that the Silent King? I think that's the Silent King right there. God, I'm really tempted to... You know what? Before I even fucking get to the Necrons, I'm already slapping Necrons at like an A tier. I know for a fact... No, not even an A tier. Let's put them at S tier. I know for a fact either my first army or very fucking damn well my second army is going to be a Necron army. 100%. I love the Necrons. I love their fucking aesthetic. I'm sure their lore's just as fucking cool. But it's very high up there. It's very high up there. I'm actually I will lower it to A. I'm not putting it in S yet. S is gonna be the one I pick. A is gonna be the Forerunners. Then we have. You know what? It actually would be easier to probably rename these, wouldn't it? Yeah. So this will be... Let's do to battle. Or actually... Wow! What would this be? Oh. For the Blood God. Oh shit, no, we want to move that. There we go. Oh. I need to add some exclamation points there, man. Come on. There we go. Wah, for the Blood God. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Heretic. Xenos scum. And then, just... No. There we go. We'll go with that.
But for this episode entirely,
Continue.
We are discussing the Imperium of Man, because that
Wait,
takes
this
up
whole
a
episode's the
fat
Imperium?
chunk of Warhammer lore. Oh, boo-hoo. What is Warhammer 40,000?
Oh, shit.
Well, the 40,000 starts off as the year 40,000, the 41st millennium. That's where it takes place.
We're in for a long one.
40,000, 41,000 AD. you're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote. First of many quotes.
Oh, he's
in
going
this
straight
video.
in for the
It is
quotes,
41st
too? Oh,
millennium.
shit, here we
For more
go.
than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
Yes.
He is the master of mankind
Yes.
by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies.
So
He is a
fucking
rotting
cool.
carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology.
He is the carrion lord of the
for
Imperium.
whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die.
That's so
To be a
fucking
man
cool.
in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable.
Yep,
These
sounds about
are the
right.
tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding.
There is
for in
no
the grim,
peace
dark
amongst the
future,
stars.
There is only war.
Yes.
There is no peace amongst the stars.
There's only
an
war.
eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting
There is no
gods.
war.
Everything
There's only war.
blows. And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably the most dark and depressing.
I'm actually
universes
like losing my
ever
fucking
in
mind so
fiction.
much I'm
Or
saying
at
the
least,
wrong
top
words.
3.
There is
Everything
no war.
so
There's only war,
absurdly
dumbass.
Horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends
God,
up
that looks
canceling
so
itself
fucking
out. It's
cool.
like
God damn,
Dota.
dude.
War rages across the galaxy.
Wait, what was that about Dota?
Horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages
okay.
across the galaxy.
I see.
Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day
Jesus
to a
Christ.
rotting carcass of a man who you believe to be your god. Demonic gods and just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other
I
in
love it.
untold
I
billions
fucking love this.
across the galaxy. It is a time of unending
Now I see the Space Marines and of the Ultramarines. I actually just recently bought the first Space Marine game on Steam. I'm absolutely streaming that very soon. Probably a couple nights earlier from when this is even released. We'll see what happens, but actually maybe even tonight. We'll see. We'll see. It could even be tonight. Who knows? It might be streaming for a couple of days. You never know. Anyways, I'm going to be streaming that because I'm on a Warhammer kick. We're absolutely playing that, and I'm playing the second one too. So, quick sidebar.
war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks. But that's
I
like
love it.
the charm of it. See, everything in Warhammer is evil.
It is. It is
But
the charm.
Evil is kind of fun. Like humanity,
Exactly.
in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudiced,
What the
and
fuck is that
religious
leg
zealot
choice?
group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale.
I
of
roll
Warhammer.
that guy
Nobody is
Tau
good.
players.
That
What
are
was that list? What was that list? Imperium of Man, Eldars, Orcs, Tyranids. Playing low tier for fun, played by intent. Guys who bring food.
The high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer. Nobody is good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it.
That's the point.
'Cause being the bad
Yeah,
guy
exactly.
is badass.
Exactly.
Villains are cool.
It's
they look
fun.
cool. They got cool outfits. They got cool weapons.
It's
they got cool
fucking
armies.
sick.
Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming. Is that everyone can.
I could
be
have
the
said it
bad
better
guy.
myself, honestly.
So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
His hair, whack. His gear, whack.
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the
Jesus
human
Christ,
race.
man.
All of humanity is under this one flag.
gonna have a lot of those
called the
memes
Imperium.
in here, aren't
About
we?
10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot-tall psychic demigod
Jesus Christ.
who led
That
humanity
art, man.
across the
God
stars to
damn.
colonize tons and tons of worlds, create
beautiful.
superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40k, there is the warp, the immaterium, kind of like
Go on.
hell, but sort of like a purgatory dimension of hell. And a psyker is someone who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff. Well, like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things, but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker. Top tier, A+, maybe even S. Now, the Emperor created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created
so he's like
18 Primarchs to have them lead all of the
changed his
different
mind real
legions
quick
of
there.
humanity to the different stars and plans to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are psychers, but
So
a lot
they're
of them
just
are very,
genetic
very powerful,
copies in
and
a way?
they lead his special
Interesting.
Space Marine legions. Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite
hear that
son,
thrown
the
about
Primarch,
a lot.
Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 of the 18 of his Primarchs directly
So that's how we
to
get the
Earth
Chaos
to fight down
Marines.
the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier, the warp, that immaterium, the hellish place? In there relies the 4 Chaos Gods. Imagine like Satan and 3
There's
other
Cord in
Satans.
the top
The
left.
warp
I'm
being
so
kind of
familiar with
evil,
him.
Those Chaos Gods, that's
Blood
the reason.
for the blood
And so
god,
those Chaos
skulls
Gods
for the skull
manipulated
throne.
Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth, and they fucked up shit. After this huge
Rip.
civil war,
Oh,
Horus
that's not good.
died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor. And right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away,
I see.
powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive, and is fed 1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon is like the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K,
human Imperium of Man,
through
not
that
terribly
demonic
great
warp
dudes.
I mentioned earlier.
I see.
But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where you're going. If you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance.
Yeah,
between
that's
going
not a bad
to
comparison, I
So long
suppose,
as the
yeah.
Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. So long. Now, since the Horus Heresy
Yikes.
10,000
They better have
years
some
ago,
real
the
good
Imperium
bodyguards for
fallen
the
from
Emperor.
grace
Jesus.
substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living
Jesus
god,
Christ,
which is
man.
probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for.
I
So
see.
now you have this thing called the ecclesiarchy, which is this giant
God,
church
that is beautiful.
entirely
Holy
devoted to
shit.
spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God
Emperor
of
of mankind.
And all of the Imperium has taken up
man.
worshiping
Holy
him to
shit.
the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and
Jesus,
a
man.
hefty religious zealotry to them. If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to
You are
die.
dead,
That is
yes.
called being a heretic. Heretics die in 40k. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech.
Yep,
So
that
long
would be
as
accurate.
you are against the Emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others. But no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their
Yes.
empire across the stars.
Purge the
If you are a
heretics.
heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a
heretic.
and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well. So long as the murder continues and humanity
which should be
expands,
easy for humanity.
The Imperium of Man is very, very
Oh my god.
However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss, the Astra Militarum,
here we go. First faction.
or also known as the Imperial Guard.
The Imperial Guard.
You finished? Game over, man.
Okay,
Imperial
here we
Guard
go.
is the
First
main fighting force
official
of the Imperium.
faction here.
And in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you,
Yes.
the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial
Oh,
Guard.
I see.
It fires superheated plasma
Shit.
lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall an extremely devastating weapon
Yep, powerful weapon.
in modern day. It is one of the weakest in the 40k universe. Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams, it
flashlight.
can blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now. But who cares? Because the Imperial Guard
Holy
has,
fuck.
in each battle, 500,000 of these men and women. 30,000 large armored tanks, 10,000 artillery batteries.
Jesus
the Imperial
Christ.
Guard
So they
wins
just
through sheer numbers
swarm
and
with as
firepower.
many
They
bodies as
kinda have
possible.
this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions
That's
of
kinda
guardsmen
cool, actually.
as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along with them, and multiple kinds of troops. A normal
So, like,
Imperial Guard
trench
battle
warfare kinda
starts
guys
off
sort of
with
things.
artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's
Oh, my.
feet. And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun and tanks block out the dirt with the steps and hoof prints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower.
So
they are the
massive,
first and last line of defense
massive
for the Imperium and make a
fields of
huge
armies,
bulk
I'm gonna
of the
guess.
battles. The Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachin jungle fighters
That is just
live in a dark
Rambo without
world
hair.
That's more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever get into.
What the fuck?
So they just have this steroid-looking, giant knife, Rambo Predator-looking where nothing is
What
anywhere
the
near as
fuck?
scary as a simple knight on their home planet.
Oh my.
We have the Valhallan Winter Soldiers
Those are
that have
Russians
their toes in 300 years.
from
the
World
Mordian
War II?
Iron Guard, who are more interested in making their
Those
shoes
are like-
shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians.
Those are
from
like
Cadia. The biggest export of guardsmen
Oh, boy.
in the entirety of the Imperium. You will
I was
fire your
going to say what was it? These guys here. They remind me of a type of soldier, like specifically, but I don't remember from what era or which one. It kind of give me like a like French cavalryman vibe almost. Very interesting.
Cadia.
All right, was this about Cadia?
The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills
Jesus
day in and day out at
Christ.
15. And you'll fight your first swarm lord at 16. And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily.
So they're
Quote,
Spartans.
I have at my command an entire
What
battle
the
group of the Imperial Guard. 50 regiments, including specialized drop
So
troops,
Cadians are just
stealthers,
straight up
mechanized
Spartans.
formations,
Okay.
armored
Damn.
companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite
God
faction in
damn,
40K. They're the army I collect the
so
most,
fucking
the ones I enjoy
That's
playing
so
the
cool.
most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent the main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well.
Sounds about
Large
right.
amounts of artillery that doesn't require a line of sight, lots of tanks,
Cool.
tons of infantry, drop troops, and gunships.
Yep, that's about
Overall,
what I
they're
expected.
Pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit
I would
a
imagine.
lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more accurate...
All right, that makes sense. Okay. Where are they? Astra Militarum. There we go. I like the idea. Big swarm of troops, tanks, military shit, kind of cool. First army, not so much. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna put in Heretic for now. I do like it. Vibes pretty neat. Vibes pretty cool. Not really feeling it for my first 40k army though.
Fire and specialization.
I need something
we
a
can move
little
on to talk about
like hooks me in kind of thing.
Marines.
Ah yes.
The
Here
Angels
we go.
of Death are up
The
next.
Space Marines.
Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given
Okay.
extra
Yep.
organs. Their skin
Indeed.
tissue is toughened. Their bones are stronger. They're taller than the average person. They're pretty
Yes.
massive people.
Yes.
And these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's tons of legions
That's so
of them.
fucking
In fact,
cool.
there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade
Okay.
they get is based on the genes of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard, and there's a whole bunch of other side sections that are
Holy
also
shit.
extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines. Which
A
we'll
lot
discuss
of
a
yeah,
bit.
a lot of
Humorously enough, I don't have a
sub-
whole lot to say
subsections
about
to that.
Space
Jesus.
Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should
If I
move
play
that
Space
quick.
Marines, I'm
These
probably
men in
gonna have to
power
go
armor
through a
moving
video
at
breaking
blazing
them down.
fast speeds. Their
I think he has
reflexes
one
are
of those
faster,
too,
their
Bricky.
skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman, are the main blue boys. Strong in almost every way, the jack of all
Oh,
trades
this is
kind
from,
of group. They're a little bit too
Space
strong,
Marine,
and
I'm pretty
that's
sure.
a lore problem, but the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders. You wanna
Jagatai
go in
Khan
quick,
are
you wanna hit 'em
they
hard,
inspired
you
off
want
the
them to be swarming
Mongol,
around
like Genghis
buzz
Khan kind of
flies.
thing?
Buzz saws. With the speed of buzz saws.
They kind of get that
You,
vibe.
Pale King. Salamanders love fire. Fire in the
Nice.
forge,
Nice
fire in
reference there.
battle. Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's
Very
good.
nice,
And they're
very
also
nice.
actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the
I would imagine
Salamanders
so.
tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle black. Like they have a
Jesus
charcoal,
Christ.
dark, ashy exterior and blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall,
Yeah.
Salamanders
Yeah,
are
pretty
actually one
much.
of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine legions. Imperial
Not my
Fists
thing,
lead with
though.
the power of the siege and defensive positions. Raven
Okay.
Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having bird helmets. Iron Hands,
Howdy,
masters of
Goofy.
machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings and wolves and tons of wolves and and axes, battle axes, fur everywhere, space wolves, angry, big teeth,
Well, that's pretty
blood
tempting.
angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy, called the red thirst. They have cupid wings and
What
stuff.
the
It's a little
fuck?
bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark angels are old school knights and inner circle theme and
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never.
Death Watch, fancy pantsy
Jesus
anti-Xenos group
Christ.
that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars for the
Okay.
people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fist and stuff.
Oh my god.
Those are the main ones right here. Here, quote from the Emperor himself. They shall
Space
be
Marines
my
are just so
finest
fucking cool in
warriors.
general.
These men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I
just
shall
so fucking
forge them.
cool.
They shall be of iron
general.
will
Their
and
design,
steely sinew. In great
their
armor
weapon
I
choice.
shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of
Oh
humanity.
my.
They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop,
Fuck yeah.
they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space
When is this? 2 years ago. Well, probably
Marines
changed
just
a
have
bit, but
it's like a Swiss
you know.
Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of
Okay.
Warhammer, Space Marines are a great start. Also, whatever gameplay style
Side note, Chaos, he decided to go with Space Marines himself. He actually chose to do a Space Marine army. That is the only reason that I am apprehensive about doing Space Marines myself. Otherwise, I might have done Space Marine army myself. Him, I think I actually recommended him to, well, he actually wants to do something more, like, purge the heretics kind of theme to them. So I think the Black Templars that he was mentioning might be a good choice for him. But yeah, that's the only reason that I probably won't be picking Space Marines, but maybe a detachment of them or some sub-faction of them, Chaos Marines maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee. All
Oh,
of
the
these
Templars
options are
run in
totally
and
there
beat
for you.
shit. Okay,
Space
cool.
Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
Oh boy, okay. Okay. Before we get into and unpack that, where are my Space Marines? Space Marines! Heretic, but actually no. We'll put Astro in Xenos. Space Marine will go in Heretic, which means Space Wolves. I think Death Guard's part of the Heretic. Or, sorry, the Space Marines. I'm getting them fucking switched around now. Grey Knights. I think Chaos Marines he might cover in a separate video, perhaps. He might cover that with the Chaos Demons. We'll just leave that there for now. Okay. Yeah, we'll stick all those in there and, is that it? Oh, Death Watch. I think that's another one, too. Oh, and Blood Angels. You mentioned that. Thousand Suns, maybe? This probably isn't even updated. When the fuck was this even made? I don't know. Regardless, Space Marines and all the detachments of them, they will be here for the time being. Moving on.
are afraid of technology.
Adeptus
The
Mechanicus.
Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars.
Technophile
now, these
cult?
people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Bricky, that sounds like some heresy.
Yeah, that's grade
A
A
little
heresy
bit.
right
They
there.
believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish. But
Yes, that's
they also make all
very
your
much
guns,
heresy.
and they make all your tanks, and they make everything that you have. So you can't really tell them to fuck off because you're not going to win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah
I
at least
see
makes
the
sense
issue.
from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go ahomina, homina, 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 homina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that. They are very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
so
that's.
They obviously know
Oh
something
my
about
god,
they're
what
doing.
the fuck?
The most notable member of the Adeptus
Just
Mechanicus
replace
is
everything with machines.
Magos, whatever. Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Yeah.
What
This is the group we're talking about.
fuck?
These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissiah Creed. The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death. Flesh is weakness. Flesh is
Jesus
death. The
Christ.
Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be
Oh.
whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to
Oh,
give
okay.
unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened. Hard techno.
So, interesting question about that then. You replace everything of your body with mechanical parts. Say the Omnissiah doesn't want your mechanical parts to work that day, and you just can't get up. Are you just assuming that your god hates you then, or is that what we're going with? You don't try to like recharge your body or anything. You just pray with your head that the Omnissiah will turn you back on. You're sitting in the field, split open, your oil and fucking wires are everywhere, and you're just like, Omnissiah, please, I am losing energy. I pray to you that you make me work. And they expect that to work. Okay. Okay.
Files.
Alrighty
mixed
then.
with religious extremism. Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely
That is a
wacky
weird-ass
and
rifle, yeah.
enjoyable and, in fact, quite effective both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans. But if you like
That looks so
quirky,
fucking
wacky
cool.
techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, They're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here.
Okay.
One guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off. And they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go into battle. Yep. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith, though.
It's kind of charmingly stupid, almost. I don't know. But it almost makes the Imperium look like idiots for being indebted to these guys, because they have to give them all their fucking guns and shit. God. Oh, I don't know. They seem interesting, though. They seem like just like a wild card faction. We'll put them in Heretic for now. They seem goofy.
Oh. Let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
Sisters of Battle, okay.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium.
Oh, so they're just heads of the
Ecclesiarchy is,
church?
Of course, the
Okay.
church. This is, imagine a private army of the church,
Jesus Christ.
which is scary, and it is.
Yep,
The sisters
sounds scary.
Extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme. They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely potent at taking out chaos and
They
heretics.
use flame
Mainly
weapons.
heretics, because
Oh,
as
boy.
they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill.
They just want to
Any
kill the
form of
heretical.
heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest things we have to nuns in space. And I'm talking hardcore nuns.
That's-
They carry holy fire on their backs.
Oh
They have
my
holy,
God, come
like,
on.
books
That's so
and
cool.
sigils
That's so
all
fucking cool.
across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ missile launcher. They have small babies that they have like removed their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit. They drop churches from low orbit as mini drop pods onto battles. They drop churches
Literal
into
fucking
battles,
churches.
and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield. These are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons on the tabletop because their faith is that strong.
Oh
Remember
my
the warp,
God.
the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the immaterium, the place
The
of
sisters
all
are
things.
badass.
So if you are
Holy
that
shit.
mentally fortified, that mentally strong.
Also like how
you
he's
can
playing
stave
the
off
Cersei's
horrifying demons.
Cersei
And all
theme in the
these
background,
girls,
the septic explosion.
Not a crack. Not a crack.
Very
in
fitting.
that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are, and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian, which I can't unsee
Oh my
anymore,
God.
I gotta say, I love their design.
Oh,
I
that's
think they're
so
extremely
fucking cool. The
They're
the
another
organ
army that I'm
tank.
currently collecting. They just
Organ
released a whole
tank,
new
that's
line
so
of figures
that's so
very
goofy,
recently,
but so
and
fucking
they look
sick.
wonderful. Everything from Celestine, the living, literally undying
Holy shit. It has
saint
doves on this
from
mini,
the
too.
Triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as a model. Those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time. And speaking of burning...
Oh yeah, that's blood. That's for the blood god right there. That is cool. That is so fucking cool. Purging the heretics with holy fire. Badass nuns in space that drop literal churches. The fucking pipe organ tank. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. That's just fucking badass. It also looks like he's getting into the Grey Knights as they are a separate faction, though. Which is interesting. So I will leave them as a separate ranking.
Demons.
I can see. I can fight.
The Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in 7th edition. The Grey Knights are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them have that crazy space magic magician shit. For every 100,000 guardsmen, there's one Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's one Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's one Grey Knight. Grey Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just strength. These are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the number one threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right. However, this group is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics.
Oh, they're
the
demon
or,
hunters.
I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are the warp, and your mind projects to the warp, people can go insane.
Oh god, that's the moon of
especially lower level
Jupiter or
psychers.
something.
These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane. One of their characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly beckoning them, use my power, use my strength, suck my penis, whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time as this thing whispers to him consistently, and he has to stave it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind, and all the characters in the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that the Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy. So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive
Jesus Christ.
and I kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop, they're very strike fast, strike hard kind of people.
Oh, I
they
see.
They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike groups, small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn
That one has a
They're
fucking
fun, though, if you like that kind of
decapitated, was that elf head? Jesus
and also,
Christ.
Caldor Drago is a thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my, that's some nutty art.
Hammer. I am the mail about his fist. I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time.
Holy shit.
Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, think they're holy enough, you want to be holier, Grey Knights. Now, if you want to be holier...
So, Grey Knights. I think they're kind of cool. They'll go away with the rest of the Marines, like I thought. I'm actually thinking Death Guard might be a chaos one now that I look at it. Anyways, putting in Heretic. However, that does seem something like I should mention my buddy Chaos to add to his Black Templar army that he's thinking of running. It's add a Grey Knight or two just to give him some psyker support if I run some psych shit.
And big. Let's talk Imperial Knights.
Oh, Lord, he coming!
Do you like
Oh my.
gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized
yes.
buildings? Do you want to kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic
Jesus
old-school
Christ.
knight noble house style of walkers with giant chainsaw arms? Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights, it's not a whole lot to talk about them because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school.
That's still pretty
like,
fucking cool.
house
Holy
feel to
shit.
them. Like literally, like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing
Holy
full
shit.
swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops. Like
Things are
these
fucking
things
massive.
do not
Oh
mess
my
around.
God.
And they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different
shit.
depending on your house or Chaos God you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town.
Those
Make for a
minis
great
look
painting project,
amazing.
too. Game over back down to
Holy
earth.
shit.
Let's talk something about a little bit.
Big Mechs. Imperial Knights. Definitely Heretic. Definitely Heretic. That's really cool. That's really fucking cool. I would definitely. Well. Okay, but I gotta be. Okay, it's cool, but I gotta be looking at it from a first army perspective. Would I want to make my first army a single big miniature, basically? It's one I'd be interested in running, but definitely not one I'd run for a first or second army. So I should move it down to Xenos in hindsight, I think. Space Marines, Grey Knights, I could see running potentially in or as a second army. Like maybe some Space Wolves and some Grey Knights. I don't know about any of the others yet, but like that seems fun. Might like do that for a second army. Who knows? Or third army, I guess. God, I'm saying all this, but that's like $3,000-$4,000 worth of fucking army building. I need to calm the fuck down.
But a little bit different, a little more
Focus on the first army.
gold. If guardsmen
the
are regular
Custodes.
soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers.
Yes.
Grey Knights are super soldiers.
Okay.
The Adeptus Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus Custodes are the
Okay.
third major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know, I got carried away, okay? But that's all. I only have 3, okay?
I mean, I
They
guess
are
I
our
can't
final
be
brand of
too
Space
too
Marine,
harsh on
but
myself
these
then
ones
if the
are
man himself's
super
like
Okay, if a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of
they're
Holy Terra. which is
big
also
boys.
Earth is Terra. Themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room. That's Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times.
They're the
and are
main
literally,
guardsmen.
Like, handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers.
Oh.
I think from a tube.
So
These
they're not brought up,
behemoths
they're just
of
fucking
men
forged.
are
Oh,
like
shit.
8 feet,
Okay.
8.5 feet
Okay.
tall, and functionally immortal. They stand still, spear in hand, for hundreds of years without the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area.
That's pretty
of Holy
fucking cool.
Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord,
They're just
are they terrifying.
bred for
These
their
custodians put
existence.
Space Marines to shame.
And that's it.
If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well.
Jesus
like the Solar
Christ.
Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilin Shield. The Aquilin Shield go out to seemingly unimportant
pretty
individuals
cool color scheme.
and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5-foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The
That's pretty
custodians
fucking cool.
work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered but never outmatched. These people are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's
Yeah, I
actually
would imagine so. They're
extremely small
fucking
amount of them.
super
but that's kind of
mega
the point.
powerful.
There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready. Always attuned to dangers unseen.
Holy
Days,
shit.
months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years, I stood my watch, and
Oh my
as it ends, I
God.
can tell you this. Patience is a weapon.
That's
the
fucking
custodians are
badass.
the top dogs of
Holy
the Imperium,
shit.
and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about
They
the
have such a
Sisters
cool
of Silence
aesthetic to them, too.
before we
Holy
get out of
shit.
here, because the Sisters of Silence
Love
I
that.
also have a few of, and they're really fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on.
Okay.
So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however,
like
are
physically.
guardians of the throne as
Oh,
well
wow.
for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other
interesting,
kinds of psychic
okay.
phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand
Interesting,
gestures,
interesting.
things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats. But they're not
Which would
represented
explain
that
why
well
they
on
both wear the
tabletop.
golden
In fact,
armor.
They only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate.
No, that's
I
a
hope they'll
shame.
get something new soon.
They
because
seem pretty
I think
cool.
they should really be working together, as it is that way in the lore. But hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
Assassinos. Yes, very good. I feel like that's not exactly a faction, but we'll watch through it anyways. We'll go through. Okay, Adeptus Custodes, definitely going in Heretic. I would definitely build that as like a second or maybe a third army down the line. But first army, I really like the gold scheme. I really like the like super mega soldier, like the beefy thing. But I don't want to like steamroll the normal Marines that Chaos is playing, right? I don't want to just flatten them. So I want to play something thematic against him and something cool, but you know, something that'll give it a bit more of a run for her money. Sisters of Battle isn't exactly that, but I really like the lore, and that's a big thing for me is the lore. If the lore's drawing me into playing the army, then I'm probably gonna play that one the most.
It's been a
'Cause
long
I'll
video.
enjoy
We're about to
painting
round it out. We
through
got
them, and
this
I'll
and
enjoy
one more human thing, and
actually
then we're
playing
done.
them.
The Assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum, oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the what was it called? Schola Progenium. It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something. You get sent to this, and you get trained to be whatever.
Christ.
Tempestus drop troop, an inquisitor, maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters'
okay,
Silence,
so it's just
or
kind of the
sometimes
hub
you just
for all of
disappear.
the
When you are
random
taken,
ass
however,
children.
You go to one of 4 temples because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks. Poof! The Vindicare
Snipers.
temple is the main sniper-based temple. Gigantic
I like.
sniper rifles from
Go
these
on.
assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target.
I guess,
Taking
yeah,
people out
in
from
this universe, it could literally be weeks.
miles away after extremely long time periods. The Vindicare Temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away.
Jesus
Temples in the
Christ.
head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks. And when they're ready, take that shot. Time is done. Packs them up. The Calidus Temple,
Oh my god.
is a lot more
That is
about
nuts.
shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas.
Oh
that are
boy.
problems. These assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up, just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed. Or
Nice.
become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception,
Also
mind
a good
tricks,
idea.
polymorphing, and everything in between.
Holy
And,
shit.
Lots of drawings.
Oh, Jesus. Yep, seems about
Eversor
right.
Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. And Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just
Oh,
making you
Jesus.
forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and
Oh, so they're
psycho
completely
conditioning,
mentally fucked.
I guess
Oh,
is the
boy.
term. And then they pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs, and they cryo-freeze you. And then they drop you in an area where they just want to make sure everything is dead. And then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back alive. You're like, all right, lost cause, send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple.
What was the name of that temple?
Therapy and sure everything, pain and misery and anything to come back alive. Deception, disturbing one. Temple is about when temple is lots of drawings, lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple.
Eversor, that's the one.
The Caluxus Assassins.
If I can get my hands on an Eversor assassin in an army, that would be a very nice boon as a scorched earth policy. Just kill everything.
Are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They're seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They're described by the Eldar, by quote, as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, And then imagine them
Pure
being
evil.
taught
What the
and
fuck?
given equipment to amplify it by 100. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear.
Oh,
And if you're a
shit.
psyker, oh no. The sheer presence of a Custodes assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Custodes
my.
assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple
Jesus
is,
Christ.
that which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear. Now, for the tabletop,
What the
assassins aren't
fuck?
that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are.
Okay.
And they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they
Okay.
work the way you generally want them
something
to.
to play
You wanna
later
cause
down
some
the line.
distortion and weird stuff, you take a Custodes. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicator, and if you have a lot of psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill.
Huh,
And you
okay,
can choose
okay.
which is really fun. But now,
Interesting.
let's talk about
So you
the
can take
last
one
human
assassin
faction
for the
we can
army.
round this video
Nice.
out before we do part 2, the Inquisition. We have a lot to talk about with them.
Oh, the Inquisition.
Oh boy. Where do I even
Yes.
begin with the
Yes.
Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people.
Yes.
And then mark it up by
There's
about
Greyfax.
10
I'm familiar with her.
and give them the most power in the entire Imperium. No, you know what?
Oh wait,
How
they
about this?
have the
This-
most power
this right
in the
here,
Imperium?
It's not just a quote. This is the Imperial motto.
Oh.
The motto of the Inquisition. I
Oh
apologize for my bad
shit.
pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing. The most powerful organization in the Imperium.
I
the
love
secret
40k.
police, their number one motto is innocence
proves
proves nothing. The Inquisition goes around like the secret police or like the
I
detectives
fucking love
to
this
find
universe.
issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious; they deal with heretics. Xenos
Yeah, that makes
tries to
sense.
find alien threats, and Malleus is
I think
demons.
Greyfax
They
is
all
the head
have
of the
different
Xenos one. Or not the
specializations
Xenos, the
in what
heretic
they're
one.
trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go
Oh,
out
they
to
are
find problems
top
and
dogs.
interrogate
Oh
people
shit. Okay.
a lot. They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of
Above the
rollbacks,
Space
but
Marines.
technically, they are above them as Inquisitors. They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible xenos issues like gene stealers or new threats.
If I run a Space Marine army at some point, I should bring Inquisitor, is what I'm
Memes
hearing.
aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes.
Well, unless
And
they're not
yes,
super
it is
good on
still
the
a bad
tabletop,
thing,
but
most of them are
we'll
pretty
see what he
good at
says.
their job. And they spend
That's
a lot
just
of time
straight up Marie
very
Antoinette
diligent
almost, or
to make
fucking the
sure
Red
that all
Queen
these
from
things they
Alice in
follow
Wonderland.
are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power.
As played
and
by,
sometimes
what's
a
her
bit of
face,
power.
Helena Bonham
And
Carter.
we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus. Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved. I deem that this planet is demon infested and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. I will
Yes.
now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet as it is unfit to take
No
and
fucking
better to
way.
be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment.
Jesus
this can mean
Christ.
cracking the planet's core and breaking it
Fuck
apart.
me,
Doesn't
what?
matter. Render this planet inhospitable to all life. Yes, the innocence proves nothing. People are the
Yeah, I guess
only people who can choose this planet must
They're the
die
only people who
in
can
its
do that shit. I
entirety.
guess that's true.
Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now it is memed a lot.
I love that.
But most
I
Inquisitors
fucking love
are
that.
very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy.
Yeah,
all
especially
of
in
them.
the Milky Way.
Naturally,
Not very many
with
planets.
Memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one.
Ordos, Eos, yep, that makes sense.
Don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much.
No,
You
it's a
generally
shame.
kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well. And personally, they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them. And they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a
That's a
lot of the
shame.
best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting.
Yeah, I
Having
guess
that
that's true.
Intrigue and that moral dilemma.
Having
that
the
an Inquisitor
Inquisitors makes
has
it interesting. I
makes
think
for a lot
actually the
better
Inquisitors
media.
are the ones
and honestly,
that
the more people do it, I
you
think
see in
is
Darktide
better,
and
because
shit.
then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer. Horrible, horrible grim darkness. And wow, we just finished the humans.
yeah, we just
all right?
finished the
Come back for
humans.
Part 2,
Holy
when we
shit,
talk about
how long was
Chaos
that?
and Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos
I'm already getting
Marine
tired,
legions,
Jesus.
and the Tau, and the Necrons, and the Orcs. And
Yeah, the
oh
Necrons
boy,
and the Orcs.
We got a lot. I'll see you in Part 2.
Oh boy. Alright. Okay. Had a bit of an issue there getting to the end, but that's the end of it. Thank God we're through all that now. Thanks for Bricky for narrating and compiling all that shit and simplifying it. We'll move on to part 2 here in another video. If you enjoyed, and if you're enjoying the journey here, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one, and adios.